Alex Wesker was one of the Project W children, along with one of the main antagonists of the Resident Evil series, Albert Wesker. Oswald E. Spencer even remarked that Alex Wesker was one of the smartest and best performing of all the Wesker children, including Albert. So, let's take a look at how Alex Wesker created an island of worshippers and test subjects, which led to her death. Hey everyone, welcome to a new video of Lloydie's Law. Like I said before, we are taking a deep dive into the life and death of Alex Wesker. So, let's go.
So you finally came. I knew you would.
Not a lot is known about Alex's early years or what her childhood was like. She was kidnapped at a young age to become a test subject of the Wesker Project, a eugenics experiment to create the ultimate soldier. Alex was then given the last name of Wesker, since all of the children had taken the last name from the first director of the project, Dr. Wesker, not to be confused with Albert Wesker. While she was a part of the project, Alex was given a privileged upbringing with the best education around, while being brainwashed into believing that she too had the same outlook on life as Oswald E. Spencer, believing that humanity should usher in a new utopia of superhumans. As a young adult, Alex was headhunted by Umbrella Pharmaceuticals. Albert, who also worked there as a virologist, became aware of one another's intellect. By the 1990s, she was aware of the Wesker Project. Alex kept it a secret while becoming a close friends with Lord Spencer and became a senior member of the Umbrella Intelligence Division. The day had come for Lord Spencer's vision to become a reality, and began with the next phase of his plan and injected the Wesker children with the prototype virus, a derivative of the T-virus. Alex and Albert were the only remaining candidates who survived the procedure, but the virus had a 20% probability of negligible mutation, meaning that the virus could do nothing at all to the subject. In this case, this happened to Alex due to her incurable illness that she had developed, leaving her with no superhuman powers, unlike Albert. When Alex found out about Wesker's death in August 1998, she suggested replacing their losses by infecting hundreds of candidates who were thought to be of no use. Alex had carefully orchestrated her game of back and forth loyalty towards Spencer, as he believed her to be loyal. With Spencer's backing, she used her position to build herself a power base located on Sen Island, with her most loyal hand-picked Umbrella researchers at her side. The location was a small Russian island that had suffered greatly from an economic collapse during the fall of the Soviet Union. Taking advantage of the disaster, Alex used the small population as her own guinea pigs. Still using Umbrella's funds, she established the island's economy by hiring the locals to construct a research base. With the island no longer in ruin, the population calls Alex the new Messiah. With the fall of Umbrella in 2003, Alex remained at Spencer's side, playing the ever-devout servant. Spencer ordered Alex to travel to an old Umbrella island base. She was then tasked to help create a virus that would halt the aging process of the human cells. To be infected with this virus would make Spencer's dream of becoming immortal a reality. Alex started to feel her own degenerative illness and gave up on Spencer's project, fleeing and taking all of the data back to her own research base, where she reformed it into the T-Phobos project.
The meek will inherit nothing today, and I shall learn the secret to immortality.
Rather than keeping her rapidly failing body alive through a virus, Alex decided to transfer her consciousness into a new body along with a virus that would create a superhuman for her to inhabit. However, a production of hormones connected to fear would end up in failure. For Alex's plan to work, she would need her new body to have 6 months of exposure to the virus, and mind transferring machinery would be needed for Wesker's copied consciousness to fully take over. The news of Spencer's death made its way to Alex in mid-2006. Though she thought Spencer to be an old, fragile man with delusions, she did appreciate his views, which made her speed up the T-Phobos so she could become the new god. At this time, the BSAA had killed Albert Wesker, his true death. This took a toll on Alex since they had grown close. This was when Alex decided that there was no going back and pressed on with her plan. Since 2008, the T-Phobos research has been tested on a wild population by hiring the mine workers, but these test subjects didn't meet Alex's expectations. They continue to become overwhelmed by their fears and mutate into monstrosities, With Alex running out of time due to her illness, she decided to turn her sadistic sights off her island and towards new, fresh test subjects. And that solution lay with a man named Neil Fisher, the leader of TerraSave. Neil secretly made an agreement with Alex. He would supply his own members of TerraSave as test subjects in exchange for an Ouroboros sample so they could create a vaccine, rendering the virus worthless on the open market. In 2011, Alex put her plan into play by abducting TerraSafe employees, along with their leader, Neil. Alex oversaw her new test subjects, but one by one, she was met with failure. But one subject caught Alex's eye, a child, Natalia Corda. She was the ideal test subject, as her childhood trauma made her incapable of feeling fear. On the orders of Alex, Neil was ordered to kidnap the child. Natalia was then placed into a coma for the next 6 months. With Neil fulfilling his purpose, Alex gave him a sample of the Ouroboros as promised and infected him with the virus, transforming him into a monster. Finally, the Overseer was met with Claire Redfield and Moira Burton. With all of her loose ends tied up, Alex's next phase of the plan was about to begin, to be reborn in a brand new body.
I will surpass him.
What are you trying to do?
Escape.
But as she held the gun and pulled the trigger, a hint of fear had burrowed deep within her. The fear of dying and becoming nothing. Alex Wesker had failed her own test. Her body began to mutate, transforming into a horrifying, powerful monster. In the wait during the next 6 months, Alex fell into a crisis. Did her project work or not? Yes, she was in the same body, but she had morphed into a creature that made her immortal. Natalia was then freed from her coma, but Alex was confused why the little girl didn't transform like herself. She wanted the girl gone. Outside the mines, Alex catches up with Natalia and BSAA agent Barry Burton and tries to dispose of the little girl, mad with despair of Natalia being a failure.
It shouldn't be like this. I wasn't afraid as I watched my hair turn grey and the flesh sag from my bones. But why aren't you changing? A failure like you. I'll crush you with my bare hands.
But in fact, there was another Alex buried deep within the little girl, waiting to come forth, and Alex Wesker saw this, fearing what she had created. To Alex, this girl was an imposter, and to end both the girl and Barry, she injected herself with the Ouroboros virus.
I have to destroy you!
With victory within her grasp, Alex is about to finish Natalia but is saved by Moira. Chasing the three onto a cliff platform, that's when the helicopter with Claire Redfield appears, firing a rocket launcher at the creature and finally putting an end to Alex Wesker. Even with her death, the experiment still lives on within Natalia, who reads the works of Franz Kafka, a favourite of Alex Wesker's.
A cage went in search of a bird, but now the bird is gone. The bird has changed.
So, that's the life of Alex Wesker. Do you think we'll be seeing Alex Natalia in the coming games? Will she start up her experiments again? Who knows? Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and subscribe? It would mean a lot to me. Well, see you in the next one. Bye.